What is up, everybody? I know I'm a day late. Mom life literally gets me every time. I did not know what day it was yesterday, and then I had a 14-hour work day and completely forgot to record this podcast. So here we are. Today, we are going to be discussing a little bit about how even though I was a solopreneur for the longest time, it's not something that I did on my own. I had support from my husband and things like that. And I wanted to talk about that because I know a lot of times, or at least I know I've gone down rabbit holes where I've followed entrepreneurs or business owners' journeys, and I've realized that they had a lot of capital behind them, or they had an inheritance, or they had like a crap ton of money, because I would follow them and be like, how did they do that in that first month? Or how did they do XYZ? Or how did they do all of these things? Well, it's maybe because they were able to put a ton of money behind advertising or a ton of money into investing into a clinic space. And so I've had to really like catch myself and recognize that everyone's journey is different. And I want to preface this episode with that. Like, I have a different journey than you will. I have a different journey than all of the coaches I've ever hired. I'm going to continue to have a different journey from all of you. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So it's just something to remember or remind yourself of, that your starting point is not the same as where I'm at right now. I'm not starting out. And so when I was starting out, I had to remember that, right? When I was starting out, I had no capital. My husband and I literally, I quit my job. I had $72 in our account, and that was it. I had a dream, I had an idea, and I had to run with it. We ended up going into debt to make it happen. We've done that a couple of times throughout the journey. And again, like, that's not something that I'm ashamed of. I wish we didn't make that seem like such a negative thing. Like, in order to make it work with where we were, we had to do those things at that point. And so I don't regret our decisions. I think that we did what was absolutely necessary in those times. And I think that, again, like, we all have to really consider like risk versus not. Like, my risk for not making the decisions that I made were so much higher than the risk of making those decisions. So even though I knew that we didn't have the income at the beginning to like do something super crazy, I still had a car and I still had car insurance and the ability to start seeing clients in their home. And I could figure out how to do that, right? Like, I invested in people that would share with me how to do those things. And so I am so grateful for that. I used to have this poor mindset where I would say like I needed coaching or I needed mentorship. It was kind of like a codependency in which I wouldn't give myself any credit. It was always the credit of those that I was paying to get me there, right? Because they've done it before, so they know what they're doing. But the first thing, thanks that I want to give is actually to myself, because I have come through so many traumatic experiences. I've come through so many hard lessons. I've come through so many struggles, so many tribulations, trials, obstacles, whatever you want to call it, in this journey, that it's just absolutely insane. So that's definitely something that I want to consider and like say thank you to. The second one would be my husband, because every step of the way I have been supported by him, no matter what the crazy idea was, no matter how expensive it was, no matter what the failure or the loss was. Like, he was always just like, it's okay, we're going to figure it out. And even today, I still make mistakes, of course. I'm still making poor investments occasionally. I'm still not making the best decision every single time. It's just, again, it's something that we have to be really mindful of giving thanks for. And I'm so grateful for his support. The next one is my son. My son is pushing me to challenge myself and do things that I never would have thought were possible for me. He's pushing me across like all of my boundaries. He's pushing me to and past my limits. And it's just really remarkable, the things that I'm recognizing that I'm capable of, because I have to on a sleep deprived feeling, or I have to when he's sick, or I have to when I have to adjust my schedule to make sure that he is taken care of. So that's another thanks. I want to give a thanks to my friends. I have two best friends, Chanel and Kristen, who have been supportive through I actually met them on my business journey, and they have both supported me along the way, and they have never faltered or never told me I couldn't do something or shouldn't do something. They are probably the two strongest friends on my corner that I've had throughout this whole journey, and I'm just so, so, so thankful for them. my parents for showing me what entrepreneur doesn't have to be. So they were miserable, and I don't want to be like that. So I'm not going to create it around there, but I'm super grateful for it. And then, of course, my team. I would start my team with first being Andrea. She has stuck with me and trusted me and stayed loyal, but also has held me accountable. Had some hard conversations with me, pointed me into different directions that I wasn't initially seeing. And it was just, it's eye opening when you actually find your tribe and how supportive they will be and how much they will actually show up for you. And that's such a beautiful thing. And to all of my current team members, thank you. It's such an incredible journey to be on with you. And I can't wait to see kind of how we continue to expand. But again, I always like to have this one kind of like thanks podcast because business ownership is so difficult and it's lonely. And so that's my Bryce. That's my buddy. Oh, he's so sweet. Yes, he again is my why. I want to make sure that he has absolutely everything he needs and desires always. But I wanted to share this episode and just give you guys an idea of kind of the people that are backing me, the people that are behind me, and the ones that literally will not let me quit because I'm just always so grateful for that. And then you'll hear a little bit more about our mission and where we're going tomorrow.